Welcome to the Week 5 Hangout for Econ 201 Online. Is anybody there? We'll have to wait and see. Haley. Hi, Haley.
Hey. What?
Oh, sorry. You're doing the thing.
Yeah, it just started.
Do you have audio tonight?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. You can invite your friends to the party.
I mean, I could invite my roommate, but
only if she wants
she's
to learn
not
some
doing
economics.
econ. Yeah, I don't think she'd be interested.
Oh well. Miranda.
Hello.
Miranda.
Hi.
Thanks for showing up.
No problem. This is like my first time, so I'm trying to get it together.
It looks fine to me. If you can hear me, I can certainly hear you.
I can hear you.
Good. Good. Maybe we're going to hit 3 tonight.
Huh?
I'm hoping we'll hit 3 people tonight. Haley and you and somebody.
Is that like the most we ever have?
No, I think we had 5 one night.
All right.
I think that was like the first one.
I know. And Haley only counts as half that time.
Oh. Well,
I don't know what happened. It just wouldn't let me in.
The second one the last one that we had last week, it wouldn't let me in, and then I thought it was something wrong with my account, so I did a whole new account. So I don't know.
Well, it's working now. Well, I figure only the serious students show up for the Hangouts.
Basically.
Is that working for you, Haley?
What?
Is that working for you, that story? I said only only the serious students show up?
Yeah, that might be it. I don't know. Sorry for all the rest of you that you're not serious.
You better hope you don't meet any of them.
No, I'm sure they are, but everyone has different stuff they have to do.
Yep, absolutely. I see your skinny closets again.
You're in a dorm, or?
I think she is, yeah.
She's on campus? Okay.
Haley, you're cutting out.
Yeah.
All right, it's 7:05, so I guess we better get launched here. I don't know about you guys, but I'm having a party at my house tonight, so let's get this show on the road. Okay, first of all, do you guys have any questions before we get started?
Okay, I have a question.
So I know the exam is going to be Friday.
Yes.
Okay.
When are you thinking of putting it up, and when are you thinking you're going to have it close?
Okay. Let me talk about the first thing I wanted to talk about first, and then we can talk about the exam. The first thing, actually, this is, I guess, indirectly about the exam. Let me switch over here. The exam is going to cover the first 3 topics, or at least most of the first 3 topics. If you go to the course outline, which I am doing right now, let me see if I can share this with you. Pull that over, screen share. Let's do this one. No, that's not going to work. That is too weird. Let's try. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
there we go. Okay, so here's the course outline. The exam is going to cover topics 1, 2, and 3, and we haven't even completely finish 3. What you need to study for 3 is the Halperner reading, Chapter 1 in the Halperner book. And I wanted to say a few things about that before we get going. But we haven't gotten to topic 4, so don't worry about that. We'll do that next. Okay. The Halperner, really topic 3 says, remember the economic problem that every society has to deal with. It's given that we have scarce resources, or given that we only have scarce resources, how do we want to use those resources to best meet our needs? Okay? And so there are different ways of setting up your economic system to do that. Okay? According to Halperner, and this is a pretty good model, there are 3 basic economic systems that you can use. One is a traditional economy, one is a command economy, and one is a market economy. Traditional economies are the oldest economic systems. They go back to the hunter-gatherer times, way back when. And basically, families do what they've always done. So if you're a corn farmer, then that's what you do, that's what your parents did, and that's what your children are going to do. So that's kind of like the oldest economic system, and it's still used in some parts of the world today. Okay, the second economic system is the command economy. There are examples that go pretty far back in time. Ancient Egypt comes to mind, for example. But in modern times, the best example of this is socialism and communism. For our purposes, the difference between socialism and communism is communism sort of takes it to the extreme, and it combines a totalitarian political system with a socialist, kind of a pure socialist economic system. You don't have to do that. There are many countries that are economically socialist but democratic, politically speaking. Okay, so like many of the European countries went through that up until the last decade or so. Okay, and then the third system is a market economy, or what we call capitalism, right? So, so what I want you to understand is the difference between, say, a socialist economy and a capitalist economy. And that's really pretty straightforward. There are 3 main differences. The first difference has to do with who owns the means of production, who owns all the businesses. In a socialist economy, the means of production are owned and operated by the government. Okay? In a capitalist economy, the means of production are owned and operated by people, private individuals, and groups of private individuals, like partnerships and corporations. Okay, so that's a big difference, because when government makes decisions, they do things differently than when private people make decisions. Okay, so that's item 1. Item 2 is how are resource allocation decisions made. In a socialist economy, the government decides what's going to be produced and what prices are going to be charged for every single product. Okay, so it's a very centralized system. There's an office in the capital for every good and service produced, and there's a person who decides that this is how many pairs of blue jeans we're going to produce this year, and this is the price that we're going to charge. Okay, the problem with that, of course, is how do they know, right? How does some bureaucrat know whether or not you want to buy blue jeans this year? And the answer is they don't. They make a guess. Okay, in a market economy, the same decision, resource allocation, is determined by the market. In other words, supply and demand interact to allow producers, not even allow, but also make producers supply, by and large, what's demanded by consumers. Okay, so people get what they want. Market economies do a much better job of resource allocation than command economies or socialist economies do. Okay, because, well, for the reasons that I just explained. The third difference between capitalism and socialism has to do with income distribution. In a socialist economy, your income, or rather your share of the economic pie, is based on what your needs are, right? So everyone has access to health care. Everyone has access to housing. If you need health care, you get it. If you don't need health care, you don't get it, right? But everyone needs housing, so everyone gets housing, right? So that's kind of the way it works. Aside from that, the basic rule is sort of an equal division of income. So regardless of what your job is, you get paid about the same. If you're a doctor, if you're a factory worker, if you're a soldier, you all earn about the same income. Okay, so the positive side of a socialist economy is probably a greater degree of fairness, where people have access to what they want and need. Okay, now with a market economy, capitalist economy, it's really very different. Your income and your access to goods and services is based on what you own, the resources that you own, and what value society places on those resources. So if the only thing you own is your labor, and you work part-time as a teacher's aide in an elementary school, then your income is likely to be pretty low, because teachers' aides don't make a lot of money, and if you're working part-time, you're going to be making even less than that. On the other hand, if you're LeBron James working full-time, playing basketball, markets value basketball players a lot, especially really good ones. And so LeBron is going to end up earning way more money than the nurse's aide is doing. And that's just the way the system works, right? So the disadvantage of a capitalist system is income is less equally divided. So that is kind of the Cliff Notes version to what you need to know about alternative ways of solving the economic problem. Do you have any questions about that? I know I kind of...
No. No, I'm good.
Okay. So let's talk about the exam. Okay. The exam is on Canvas. I was chuckling at your language, Haley, because it's already up. You just can't see it yet.
Okay.
So
the
exam is, Haley, just like very similar to the ones last semester. It's 30 multiple choice questions, and one extra credit question that takes a really short response on your part, like no more than 3 letters. Like YES, for example, is 3 letters. Okay, so it's 30 multiple choice questions. Most people will be able to finish it in about a half hour, like 1 minute per question. You'll have an hour from when you start, and the test will be available beginning at midnight on Thursday night and going to midnight on Friday night. So I think of that as the exam is Friday. Okay, but you can take it anytime you want to. Okay. Okay. I've never used this online exam thing before. I'm hoping it works out. If there are problems, we'll deal with them when they happen. Okay. I'll also try to pay attention to what's going on Friday evening, when I think some people will probably be working on it. You can always send me a tweet or an email or something if it blows up. If your computer starts burning or something like that. Not that I can help with that, but at least I'll know.
I have a question.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so I printed out the calendar that you have up.
Yes.
I just want to make sure I'm right, because I got confused on the blog page, because I was looking at like the midterms.
Yes.
So, do you know when the like actual day is for the midterms and stuff? I just want to make sure my schedule is right, because I've been writing everything down.
Okay. We are one topic behind on the first outline. Okay. The midterm is this Friday, and it's going to cover topics 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, so that is our midterm. That
is the midterm. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And what you do, and again, I'm not 100% sure what it's going to look like on your side. Okay. Let me see if I can switch screen shares here. Stop. Well, I can just describe it to you. Go into the Canvas course, And on the left sidebar, where they have all those options like modules and chat functions and all those things that we're not using, click on the one that says quizzes. And when you open it up, you'll see there's one in there called First Exam. Okay.
All right.
So you click on that, and then I think it's self-explanatory. Once you start going, you got 60 minutes to finish. And again, I don't think time's going to be a big deal for you.
All right. I wrote that down. Okay, good.
Okay?
Yep.
What other questions do you have about the exam or about anything, really?
I had a couple, but I can't remember now.
Well, try to think of them.
Let's see.
You know, if you remember them tomorrow, you can always send me an email or something.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm good for questions. I asked all mine last time, really.
Yeah. Haley, as I'm sure you probably have figured out, this is going to be mostly review for you because you were in my class last semester.
Yeah.
And you're familiar with the format, though not necessarily working through Canvas. That's kind of the big unknown here.
Yeah, and macro is a little different than micro. So later on, it'll be a little different.
Oh, later on it'll be different, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. I have one more question.
Sure.
Just so I get it clear, I guess. For our grading, I understand that our grades are based off of is it the tweets and the Google Hangouts and the actual work stuff?
Yes.
Our grades?
Yes.
Okay, so is that all of it that is based off of? Because
well, also the supply and demand exercise that you did, and there will be some other exercises that will get factored in. There's a really cool article that I'm going to ask you guys to read next semester, and I'm going to try to figure out a way to have a class discussion of the article, probably using Twitter, and it'll run for a couple of days, so it's not like you've got 30 minutes and you have to be there or not be there. But I've done that before, and it's a good way to kind of flesh out what the article is about, and also I think you're going to like the article. You know, if you, not that you have nothing else on your mind, but if you wanted to take a sneak peek, it's under the readings tab, and it's by a guy named Radford. It's called The Economics of a POW Camp.
Say it again.
But I will send out information to everybody about that on Monday, if not soon. Ooh, Batu.
Oh my god. I was like, what the fuck? I think so. I did something mistake. Who are you? Steve.
I'm the teacher of this class.
I think so. I'm not your student.
That's okay.
Yeah. I got it.
Now what's that, Miranda?
I said awkward.
Yeah, it happens.
That was so weird.
Yes, it does. Welcome to the wild world of the internet.
I was like, I'm gonna end this call.
Because it's actually running in the open.
Oh
So
yeah.
if you happen to find it, anybody can come in.
Oh.
That's what happens when you do one of these on-air hangouts. It's unusual. Happens usually about once a semester to me. Okay, well, if you guys don't have any more questions, I think I'm going to call it an evening.
Okay.
And you know, if something comes up, just shoot me an email.
All right.
I do actually have a question now that I've thought about it.
Yep.
So what resources would you recommend outside of our class website if we wanted to really make sure we understood the stuff and maybe get explanations from other things just to solidify it in our minds?
Well, really, I think the best resource is the content in the modules on Canvas. Aside from that, you could go online and go on YouTube and find videos having to do with supply and demand problems. There are a lot of those.
Okay.
That's really what I'd recommend at this point.
Okay.
I'll have more choices for you when we get into the more macro kind of stuff.
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
Nothing. I know.
Nope.
All right. Well, have a good evening then.
You too. Thank
You too.